Welcome to day 2 of the free 3-day masterclass on creation from pure connection. My name is Coney. If you guys are just tuning into the live, not the live, but the masterclass, be sure to catch the replay from yesterday because it was so good. And we went over uncovering unhealthy habits. Okay, so day 2 will be today. And we will be touching on breaking past barriers of self. Yay! And for those of you who are new, which is everybody, to my content, because I am just now showing up in this light fully for the first time. But I am the owner of Sound Mind and Body Wellness, a wellness center based out of the Tampa Bay area. And I'm also a spiritual catalyst. And all that means is I am able to create and hold the space for other women to thrive, because I enable you guys with all of the tools, resources, practices, techniques that I've invested in to learn, so that you guys can get it on in Poppington with your life, okay? Move to the next level and really just dive deep into self, and just continue to grow. And that's really all it is, just sharing my life's experience. So today, like I said, we're going to dive in deep into breaking past barriers of self. So I'm going to give it a few minutes and let a few people come on. Somebody just came on. Hello. I think it was Crystal. It's like it popped up and went away so quick. But hey, girl, thank you so much for being here. Crystal is one of my LWS girls. She's a part of another amazing container of just like growth and love. And y'all, like Jade, y'all know, like Queen Jade is right here. She's cooking, so I'm looking over here because I'm like, ooh, what's going on? We've got mixed sweet peppers so far. You guys, I'm so excited because so much is going on. The first thing that's going on is the Make Your Life a Priority container, which I will be talking about at the end of today's training. So for those of you who want more information on that, please be sure to stay just for a few minutes to find out the details. And then I'll also leave the link where you can find out even more details, or you can just reach out to me personally and we can talk. I will start in a few minutes. Like, as I'm coming into this space, y'all, because I have been having some very, very real OTGs, opportunities to grow, lessons, okay? And everything that I'm coming forward with today is relevant for me and my experience. This is stuff that I have either already gone through, I'm going through, okay, and I'm going through it currently, and I'm just sharing my experience. So, like when it comes to the topics at hand, right, like uncovering unhealthy habits, breaking past the barriers of self, and then the last day we're going to be talking about the concept of time. All of this is stemming from my personal experience right now in the space of being a coach or just holding space for other women to heal, right? That's a whole nother realm. And so on my journey in this realm, I have came across a lot of things that, I didn't know, I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware that it was still there, basically is what I'm saying. Like the resonance of a lot of things from my past were in the way, were hindering me. And, because I'm asking to grow, because I'm asking to be better and show up in a brighter light, this energy, the darkness, the resonance of it, it has no choice but to come up because it's trying to come up to be released. And so in that process for me, all of these topics is what I experienced. Like I had to acknowledge my unhealthy habits, right? I had to pinpoint the things that I was doing on a day-to-day that was not in support or not in divine alignment of my creations or my manifestations or anything that I want to bring into fruition, right? Like, so my desired outcome or, my external reality. My unhealthy habits was but was out of alignment with what I wanted to create, right? Like so many of us. And so that's why I decided like unhealthy habits, uncovering that is something that's relevant for me and must be relevant for another queen, right? Because we all are human. We all go through very similar experiences. And then today, breaking past barriers of self has everything to do with self-sabotage. So I feel like this is just a beautiful transition to starting the training because this is what it's all about, right? And before I dive in deep, let me just give you an overview or synopsis of what creation from pure connection is, okay? So creation from pure connection is when you are in a space of knowing, trusting, and allowing, right? You're in this space because you're doing the things that are required for you to connect to yourself and to source, to God, right? On a daily basis. It's an every single day thing. It has to be consistent. But when you are in this space from that pure connection to self and that pure connection to source, and all that means, the pureness of it is the consistency piece. It's authentic, it's real, it happens every day, and now it's running in the subconscious. Like, you don't have to think about doing these things because it's become a habit. You've been doing it, right? So when you are in the space of pure connection with self and pure connection with source, you are able to create from a place of knowing, trusting, and allowing. And what that looks like is following what feels best. You follow what feels best for you in that moment that's in alignment with the thing you want to bring into fruition, right? With the manifestation, with the desired outcome, etc., right? And so when you follow what feels best in that direction, you automatically know that you are simultaneously going to be led. Like, as soon as you take the first step, you're going to be led towards that thing, right? You can't be guided without movement. You have to be moving, right? In order for the GPS to even calculate the route, to be able to begin to tell you where to go, you got to start moving. So when it comes to being in the space of knowing, trusting, and allowing, that knowing piece is knowing that you're going to follow what feels best and knowing that you're also going to be led at the same time, right? And then in that space, you experience the trusting piece. The trusting is trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting God. Because if you say that you are a child of God, right, and you say that God is source creator, you guys are co-creating together, and you have a connection with Him, then you must know that your intuition is God-given. Okay? Your intuition is God-given. And so if it's God-given, you have this ability to trust it. You trust yourself. And so you listen to it. You're highly intuitive. And then the last piece of it is, well, not the last, but like the third piece is allowing. You allow God to do His thing. You allow source to work its magic. You don't you're not holding on to the time. You're not attaching yourself to time, how long it takes for something to come, or how quickly or whatever. You're not attaching yourself to like what it looks like. You're not attaching yourself to any expectations. The only thing that you know for sure is that you are following what feels best, and the result of that is going to be abundant, period. You just know that, right? But the only way to be in that space is to understand the concept and to implement the concept of creating from pure connection first. Like, you have to be connected, fully to be able to create and receive the abundance that we all want. You know what I'm saying? So diving in now to breaking barriers past self. And so what I mean by this is self-sabotage. I was going to say earlier that this topic has every single thing to do with self-sabotage. My self-sabotage personally gets on my nerves sometimes. Like, I'm like, sis, not now, not right now, like, not right now.
Witty as hell too.
Not only is self-sabotage witty, but she is very subtle. Self-sabotage will creep into those thoughts so swiftly that you don't even know that shorty was even at the party. You didn't even know she came with you, but she's there. Like, that's how smooth she is. And so when it comes to breaking past barriers of self, I'm talking about the space that you're in when you want to create, right? You're getting ready to launch something, or you're getting ready to put something out, or you're getting ready to embark on something new. You get this little tiny voice, right, in your head that says you can't do it, or that you don't have X, Y, and Z. Like, sis will make up any and all excuses, right, so that you won't go and do that thing. And I know, like, that we all go through this because I just know we do. Like, self-sabotage, nobody's exempt from that. Everybody has it. You know what I'm saying? And so when it comes to creation, right, and it comes to being in that place of knowing, trusting, and allowing, right, we have to be aware. We have to be aware and acknowledge, right, self-sabotage. We have to. And it all starts with the thoughts. It's all inside of our head. So a lot of the times, these barriers that we create come from self-sabotage. We create dialogue. We create a story that isn't real, right? We tell ourselves and others things that are not true, like literally are not true. Like we it's us. It's me, sis. It's me. I built this wall. I built this barrier. I said I couldn't do it. I said I didn't have enough. I said I wasn't ready. Like, all of those things are barriers that are created from self-sabotage. And so let me give you a little feedback on, or a little background on what self-sabotage is and like why it is prevalent. So our subconscious minds, right, were created to protect us. And so as like being a human being, right, being a human, we are always going to be in survival mode first. Like, we are just instinctively are going to just do whatever it takes to survive, right? And so whenever the subconscious has been presented with something new, right, unfamiliar, way more expansive, outside of the realm or the box that you've been living in or moving in, it automatically registers that thing as unsafe, or, you know, death, danger, don't go. And the only reason that we do that is because we want to protect ourselves. That's literally it. It's protection, right? So I want us to become aware of self-sabotage in a different light, right? I want to invite you to expand your minds with these concepts because it's new. It's new for me. It's not new under the sun, but it's new for me in my reality, right? So I'm sure that it's pretty new for a lot of you too. But it resonates with me because it's like, okay, I can understand why me now wanting to make six figures gives me the feeling of like anxiety or overwhelm or worry or like, oh my God, I can't, you know, I really can't do this. I don't have enough. I don't have this in place. I don't have this equipment. I can see how now, you know, that even just with that thought, the subconscious can form dialogues based off of past everything, past traumas, conditioning, okay, societal, generational, environmental, everything that you were born into, right? I can see how the subconscious is trying to protect me when it comes to expansion, or even when it comes to creation, right? And so with this being said, it's up to us to catch our thoughts, right? And shout out to another one of my mentors who brought this concept into my reality, and it's thought catching. It's like being present enough in your reality, being present enough, right, in yourself to acknowledge those thoughts that come through that are not in alignment with who you are and where you are trying to go. Those thoughts that are not in alignment or in support of how you want to show up in this realm as a person and what you choose to do for your purpose, like how you choose to express yourself, those thoughts that are not in alignment with those things, it's up to us to catch them so that we can acknowledge them and then be able to alchemize them. And what I mean by alchemizing is just changing them, transmuting them. Energy never dies. However, it can be transmuted, right? We can change the energy of it, but we can't change it if we are not aware of it and we haven't acknowledged it, right? So, tea is good. So when it comes to breaking past those barriers of self, we really want to implement the AAOC, which I introduced yesterday. This is a tool that Jade and I came up with. We created it. And this is something that we use every single day. Every single day. This is something that you can implement. This is a tangible practice, right? This is new. However, if you do the same things, you're going to keep getting the same results, right? So in order to get a different result, a different outcome, you have to invite new things, new energy, new practices, new ideologies, concepts, knowledge, awareness, all the above. So with the AAOC, the 4 pillars of alchemy to create change, you can implement this when it comes to breaking past barriers of self, right? So now you already have the awareness that this even exists, right? Like that the reason why you keep telling yourself you can't is it's not because you really can't, it's just because of your past, the conditioning, everything you were born into, the survival. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Now that you have that awareness, right? And now that you're going to start acknowledging, are you guys following me? So the AAOC, the A is awareness, the next A is acknowledgement. You want to acknowledge those thoughts, right? Then the O is observation. You want to observe those thoughts from a third person view. You know, this is where you zoom into the thought and you determine if it is in alignment or if it's not in alignment, if it is in support or if it's not in support of the things you want to see or experience in your reality. That's the observation piece. And then the C is choice. You now are in a position to make a decision to choose a different route, right? So after you have become aware of this thought, after you've acknowledged it, right? After you have observed it, the last thing is to make a choice. And so most times when it comes to these thoughts, the choice is changing it to a better thought. Changing that thought into your new truth. Or transmuting the thought so that it's in support of the thing you want to bring into fruition. I hope all of this is making sense because I know it's a lot and it's new. But like it resonates for me. And so breaking past the barriers of self, there's always going to be barriers that we build every time we expand. Every time we reach for more, every time we invite new energy in, we're stepping on new, more expansive playing fields, right? Fields that we've never been before, right? So it's only natural that every new level that you get to, you're going to create some type of barrier because you've never been there before. And the only reason why you're creating a barrier is because you're trying to protect yourself, right? But again, it's up to us to catch that barrier, right? Become aware of the barrier, acknowledge the barrier, observe it, and then make the decision to change it, right? That's just like creating the space to be able to create from pure connection. And the process on like how to do all these things that I'm bringing to the forefront is what I teach inside of the Make Your Life a Priority container, right? We go so much more in depth behind limiting beliefs, so much more in depth behind the subconscious mind, and so much more in depth behind these habits and how they are formed, where they come from, and how to overcome them. You know, all of this stuff that we are all desiring right now, because I feel like the same old story is getting old. The same old cycles, the same things that keep happening over and over is getting played out. It's getting played out. And a lot of us are feeling like, damn, I really want to change. I really want to change because it can't be like this no more. Like, it's got to be more out there. It's got to be better, right? There's got to be better. So I feel like a lot of us are desiring new concepts. A lot of us are desiring new knowledge and information and awareness to come to the forefront so that we can implement it and see a change and really experience a real life change. I feel like that. And so, you know, I felt led to host this masterclass because this information changed my life. This information that I'm giving you guys, the tools, the practices, like the experiences, changed my life. You know, I had to break past so many barriers of myself back in 2018, already 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I could not see me being the owner of the only Black-owned, woman-owned wellness center in the Tampa Bay area. I could not see that in 2018. I had so many barriers of self that I had built. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it at the time. However, breaking down those barriers and working through them and overcoming them has allowed me to be in the space of creation from pure connection, y'all. And let me just I'm gonna give y'all tangible examples of what I mean by this, right? So yesterday, as I was hosting the masterclass, Jade was in her creation mode as well, because we share space with each other. And so as I'm teaching, she is over here doing what she does best, which is interior design. She loves doing all that type of stuff. And so she was painting the wall. She did not expect all of this, but this is what came forth from her connection to self and to source. Like, how beautiful. Like, how beautiful. Yes, and now she is in the kitchen cooking. So, you know, when you create, I know the camera's all over the place, y'all, my bad. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all, and guess what? It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Like, I had to get over myself. Like, I had to really get over myself. It's not that deep. You cannot mess up. When you're showing up in your true authenticity, and you are coming with a message that needs to be heard, right? And your personality is in alignment with your purpose, you cannot mess up. You cannot mess up. So who cares if the camera falls? Who cares if, you know, your eyebrows are not drawn on today? Like, who cares? Your message, what you got to say, is so much more important than what you think other people think about you. It's so important. So, you know, the camera falls all the time. I go off on tangents all the time because I'm human. I feel like we all do this. I had to get over myself and be like, girl, it's not that deep. Shout out to Lucid, who who was a real life example and lesson for me. For me, I won't go through that cycle again, because I learned a lesson. It is done. It is done. So I hope that, you know, the message resonates, because it resonates with me, child. And when it comes to creating from pure connection, you know, like we went over yesterday, you want to go ahead and uncover those unhealthy habits, right? Uncover the unhealthy habits. Become aware and acknowledge those things you are doing. Okay, watching all that TV, eating the foods or drinking the drinks that you're eating, the things that you're doing in your day-to-day that you know good and well you should not be doing any longer. You shouldn't be available for it any longer. Start to uncover what those are, because your habits is what's creating your current reality. And if you are not happy, you are not in a space where you feel you can create and receive, my creations support my lifestyle, y'all. I live a very beautiful life, and my creations support that. Meaning, the more I show up for the things I feel to do, in my body, the more I get to live, you know, the way that I live, which is beautiful. God is amazing in my life, you know? So uncover the unhealthy habits, right? Step 1, to creating from pure connection. Step 2, let's go ahead and start breaking past the barriers of self with the 4 pillars of alchemy, yes. AAOC. Okay, become aware, right, of the barrier. Acknowledge the barrier, observe the barrier, and then choice. Make a decision to change the barrier, right? And then tomorrow, the last day of the free 3-day masterclass, guys, we're going to be talking about some concepts of time. This is going to be so good. It's going to be so good because it just blew my mind what came to me in my reality. And so I have to share it with you guys. And I can't wait. So that's going to be tomorrow. I think I'm going to have to move the time up to 10:10 a.m. but I will keep you posted on that because I also run a wellness center. So we get booked up every single day. We're booking up now. However, I'm about to dive in deep. I'm about to like give it all away.
Yeah, let it go. Sometimes spirits say no.
I know. I'm like, I can wait. So now let me go ahead and dive into Make Your Life a Priority, the container, really quickly. For those of you who have hopped on up until this point, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing space with me. If you want to know more details about the Make Your Life a Priority container, stay on for like another minute because I'm going to be going over that now. And yes, before I forget, let me mention this. I do want to gift one queen entry into our container, the Make Your Life a Priority 21-day challenge. But by doing so, I am asking all of my queens who are tapping in, who are viewing this message, if it resonates with you and you want to be entered, please go ahead and share this live on your story, your IG, and tag me. Okay, my Instagram is queen_Konilj, KONILJH. Tag me so I can see it, so I can put your name inside of a like a little basket, and I can choose a winner to share this amazing experience with. Okay, and really quickly, the Make Your Life a Priority 21-day container is a 21-day program for the queen ready to tap in to her internal resource system, because we all have it. We all have access, resources, tools, knowledge, and awareness that we have already been born with to create, right, and to live abundantly. However, it's just having that awareness and knowing what it is. And so inside the container, we dive deep into 3 realms of life. The first is the mental. Okay, we uncover so much within the conscious and the subconscious mind. We go over things like limiting beliefs, what a habit actually is, where it stems from. Okay, we dive in so deep. The second is the physical, right? Because everything is connected. So what we consume throughout our 5 senses, aka how we're being stimulated, creates our external reality. So we dive in deep into the physical and some things that you can implement to attract more and become more. And then the last one is spiritual. We dive in deep into that connection and how to connect and what connection means for you. And there's bonuses inside, like guided meditations. We have a private community, 30-minute one-on-one intensives, okay, group coaching calls. There's so much this round that I have put into this container, and I'm super excited because the magic has already begun for me. We begin February 8th, and from now up until then, you can receive $111 off. Okay, so message me for the details, or you can click the link below the video for more details. And I think I am going to end it here. If you're catching the replay, let me know. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Love you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.